As Alfred Hitchcock once said, always make the audience suffer as much as possible.
Here, at Something Productive, we suffer through old bad movies so you can suffer through us.
Ready or not, here we go.
So we just finished watching Captive Wild Woman.
Not to be confused with Captain Marvel.
No, not at all. When was this movie made?
1950, 1947, 1957-ish. 1943. I was a little off. That's okay.
It's a black and white monster movie, sort of based around a gorilla as the monster, but it's confusing.
The monsters are the humans. The production company, that's who the real monsters are.
Exactly.
More on that a little bit.
So let's talk about the plot, just a quick overview of what happens in this movie. So a circus
Comes to town.
performer, well, yeah, but a circus performer goes off to Africa and captures a bunch of wild animals to be used in the circus. One of them being a very smart ape named Sheila. And then he comes home and his girlfriend's sister has a problem with her glands.
Oh, her glands.
Yes, her glands. This movie is a fan of the pseudoscience mumbo-jumbo sort of treatment of science in general.
Yep.
So, she has problems with her glands, so they go to send her to the doctor, and the doctor, it turns out, is some kind of evil person who seeks the perfection of the human genome and all that nonsense. Very anime.
You're right. The doctor decides to keep the woman for inspection.
And then he kidnaps Sheila, the ape, and uses the woman that he has captured, the sister, to turn the ape into a human by
transferring glands, but more like a blood transfusion, or steal the blood out of the one woman and put it in the ape. It's hard to make this up.
Yeah. And they sort of talk about brain transfusion, and we were sort of confused about this while watching the movie. But I don't think that they transferred her brain because the sister's fine at the end.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
I thought she died because there's that part where the camera shows the notebook. And it has the doctor's notes and it says her sacrifice. And I take sacrifice.
Isn't that the assistant that he's talking about?
Oh, I thought he was talking about...
I'm pretty sure he murders his assistant.
He does.
Because she objects to the something.
He kills the assistant, but I'm pretty sure the notebook, it's his science book of science. So it's talking about his subject being the other chick, maybe. I don't know, man. This movie doesn't make sense.
So after that fiasco and a half, he goes walking with his new ape human person, and the ape human person helps the one dude from the beginning, the circus dude. She helps him, and he decides to hire her, and the doctor is okay with this for some reason, and so she helps him with circus things in circus lands.
It's a little unclear if she's telepathic or not, but it's okay.
And then what happens?
Then the circus dude kisses his, I think, girlfriend, maybe? I don't know. And she doesn't, the ape woman doesn't like it because mating season, according to the doctor. I think. Am I right on that?
I don't know.
That's okay. And then what happens? Then she turns back into the ape. And then things happen.
And then roll credits. So, what happens? Okay, wait. So, the ape is angry and then turns into an ape. And then the doctor finds her and he's like, "How could you do this? Stupid."
Yeah, stupid.
And then the doctor. No, and then the sister contacts the circus man's girlfriend. And she tells her that she's being treated terribly and that she should come immediately. And then she comes immediately. And then the doctor is like vaguely threatening towards the girlfriend.
It's all very confusing.
So the girlfriend lets Sheila out of her cage and Sheila kills him.
Who?
The doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Then he's dead. The end.
Basically, yep. That's what happens.
Yep.
So, what did you think of the technical aspects of the film?
Technical aspects. Yes, very technical. It was very technical what they were doing.
They used the same 5 shots over and over again.
So a lot of this movie, about 50% of it, I'd say, consists of the circus man beating up random tigers and lions with whips. And it's very uncomfortable to watch. Congratulations on being in the 21st century. So yeah, a lot of it is that, and they keep using the same shots of the lions and the tigers doing the exact same things and reversing those shots and doing them again and reversing them, and it's just very painfully obvious what they're doing. And it's lazy.
It's repetitive, and it makes it boring.
It's so boring. I mean, I feel no stakes during any of the circus scenes, even though they're supposed to be like intense. Oh, he's wrangling with the lions.
The lion killed the people, and now there's a storm? Oh no. But yeah, you just kind of sit there like, it's the same 5 shots. I doubt they're gonna change.
Yeah, true.
The treatment of animals throughout the film is terrible, especially, in the movie itself. There's I don't know if you're supposed to be rooting. There was a time where we were questioning, do you root for the doctor who's making the ape a woman? The ape was a woman, but like a human, or are you supposed to be rooting for like the circus people? But they both mistreat animals so badly, and then you had to think about they filmed it, so those animals were actually getting treated that way because it was the 40s and they didn't do like CGI animals.
And we figured that the movie probably didn't have an agenda that PETA would approve of.
Yeah, that's real sad.
And sort of talking on this note, something we haven't mentioned that much in this podcast is themes, mostly because these movies rarely have themes.
They're just kind of monsters.
And I think here in particular, a lot of the movie is about circus animals and captivity, but there isn't really a solid theme or message in it because it's never really portrayed in a bad way.
Yeah, it definitely could have. I feel like the movie would be 10 times better if it was taking the aspect of the ape then trying to use its new position to free the animals. And I think that would be a much more interesting story to take than whatever it did take.
Yeah. So, one thing we haven't talked about is characters. What do you think about the characters?
Most of the characters were... There was the doctor and there was the...
Circus man.
Circus dude. They were both terrible human beings. The doctor at least had a bit of, characterization and, personality, but I didn't get much personality.
Circus man was kind of... I don't know if this was just a thing in the 40s, but like he didn't have any flaws. He didn't really have any notable characteristics. He was just kind of like a perfect human being, like a Mary Sue or Gary Stu, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just so boring to watch because I don't care about this human. There was the circus master. He was in the movie.
He was great.
He was great. I mean, well, I wouldn't say he's great. He's
Right.
definitely the best part of this movie, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
He was funny. He actually legitimately made me laugh once or twice, and that, like, he was very realistically handling the situation, even though it was kind of insane, and these characters are kind of terrible people.
It was kind of like the actor saw that this movie was nothing and was like, I'm going to have fun with this. But remain professional because I don't want my career ruined. But I doubt he had much of a career after this. Yeah. It's rough.
So, closing thoughts. This is a boring movie. Wait, I have a word. Mindless. This is a mindless movie. Nothing in it is done with any particular thought or care of attention. It's just kind of done because it's a movie.
Yeah, it was just like, I maybe could make some money off of this. Let's do it. There's no value in the film, and granted, it's a monster film just trying to make money, I guess, but still, you can have like Sharknado. I mean, it's a couple years later, but Sharknado has that kind of this is going to be bad, so let's just make it bad, and then it comes off as being fun. This is just kind of, here you go. So, would you recommend this movie?
I would not recommend this movie to anyone. I'd say 2 out of 7. This movie isn't actively terrible, but it's pretty bad and lazy and boring, and I don't want to watch it ever again.
Yeah, I would give it probably a 3 out of 7 and 2 out of 7. I mean, somewhere around there. Also, there's the fact that I feel like it would be a lot better movie if there wasn't that huge mistreatment of animals, because I was just kind of concerned the whole way through.
It was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's a wrap, I guess.
see ya.